I had several people, Dr. Lamb, that called or sent me a message. Um, there's a lot going on at their schools, and but the ones that communicated with me, they're up with their work anyway, so they'll be okay. I'll send them the message. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get started, Dr. Lamb, and make sure you're recording on your end because I paused it on this end.
I am. Where you want to start?
Okay, we can start now, and if you would, I'll go ahead and just do what I need to do because I think most of it's going to be dealing with the task stream and the requirements that's got to be done to fulfill the needs on your end after I say what I need to say. So let me know when you're ready.
Go.
Okay. First of all, I want to, there are several of the students that I want to commend. You've kept up, your work's been on schedule. Some of you have completed the process. The only thing that you have to do is anything that would be left that would have been a group requirement, and that is being finished up this week. But some of you have taken the leadership initiative and you've gone ahead and pushed your groups to go ahead and get that done. With that being said, just want to remind all of you that, you know, one of the competencies that you've had to address this semester is time management. And I just want to remind you again that as an administrator, that is probably one of the most important competencies that you will have to embrace on a daily basis. So much is going to come at you, but you've got to learn how to handle it all. And with that being said, now some of you are already working in an administrative role. Some of you are in a semi-administrative role. Some of you are in the classroom still. But no matter where you are, you're a full-time worker somewhere, and you're a full-time student in an add-on licensure. And so, you know, that's not going to change for the next 2 semesters. You've got a lot to do. So I would encourage you to, you know, lessons learned, things that have hindered you from being on schedule with your work this semester, things that have held you back. You've got to figure out how you're going to balance all that and to make it work, and especially when you begin assuming the role of an administrator, because the workload really does increase. I do want to, very quickly, my hat goes off this evening. I want to just single out one student. And the reason I'm going to do that is because tomorrow is a very special day for her. We have more than one student that's involved in this program. Student is dual enrolled. She's a full-time worker, but she's also a full-time student in the add-on licensure program, but she's also at Gardner-Webb a full-time student in the doctoral program for curriculum and instruction. And Andrea Anderson, who is in the O2 group, will defend her proposal tomorrow. So we wish Andrea the very, very best. And I have to tell you, Andrea has, as of this evening, Andrea completed all of her work well in advance. Everything was submitted. She's got her final grade back on the APTEL, as well as a few others. They've got their final grade back. But I really wanted to compliment her because of the rigorous workload that she's had and to accomplish what she's accomplished. So if Andrea can do it, I'm only saying that to say anybody else can do it as well. So we wish you the best tomorrow, Andrea. Talk about peer reviews for just a moment. Peer reviews serve a very, very important role, and I know some of you probably think sometime, because of how quickly I provide feedback on things, and probably Dr. Lamb as well, how in the world can they read that so quickly? But I do, and I do read it, and I go back sometime after I've read something, and I can go back into anytime I want to, and I can go back and look at it again, and I do sometimes. The peer review process is an important process, but I want to remind you, it is not your job to do the work for somebody else. It's good that I want you to point out the things that you see. You talk about the good things, the other things, but I don't want you to take on the role of somebody that's not doing what they're supposed to do, thinking that it's your responsibility to edit their work and tell them everything that they're supposed to do. At this stage of the game, everybody should be on the same page, and you shouldn't have to be telling them every time the same thing. So I'm just going to tell you, continue with, as you do the peer reviews, continue doing what you're doing. Some of you have really done an amazing job with that, but I don't want anybody to take advantage of your goodness and think, well, I'm just going to let them tell me what to do. I want everybody to do what they're supposed to do. And those of you that have been candid with your peer reviews and you've pointed out the things in a very professional manner, I want to commend you for that, and I want you to know it has not gone unnoticed. I have recognized that. With task 3 of the APTIL, remember that there are 2 parts to that. There are 2 prompts, and the second prompt, you have to put it in the graphic organizer, and if you'll use the template that Dr. Lamb has provided, you'll have no problems. But when you deviate from that, that's when the problems occur sometime. So please make sure that you are using, those that have not completed that task, that you're referring to the template and do everything that the template tells you to do. Task 4 of the APTIL. Remember that you are, just a minor thing, but it's still important, double space the narrative work. And you are addressing each one individually. So if it's responsiveness, then you're going to write responsiveness, and then you're going to do your narrative work on responsiveness, and then go to the next one. Make sure that the reviewer and the evaluator can easily see what you're. Task 4, remember, is not submitted independently. Task 4 is submitted along with the entire APTIL for my review. So when I look at what you've done for task 4, I should see, if you've not submitted it yet, I should see all of the APTIL along with what you've done for task 4. And when I look at that, I will look at task 4 to make sure that it's correct. But at that point, I will either send it back to you and tell you to fix something, or I will tell you to submit the task stream. So please make sure that you're following it's the same rules that applied with the APTIL. Once I tell you to submit to task stream, then well, when you send it to me, I'm going to tell you that, to submit it to the APTIL assignment Dropbox, and then I'll tell you from there to submit the task stream. Once it has been evaluated in task stream, you got your score back. Remember, the last thing that you have to do with that is to send me a screenshot and in the assignment Dropbox of that final score, and you will be through with the APTIL. Dr. Lamb, that's it.
All right. Again, congratulations to Andrea. We're proud of you and hope everything goes well for you tomorrow. All right, I'm going to do a quick review on the end of the semester, what needs to be done in task stream. This is just another reminder. We've gone over it several times this semester, but we'll do it again tonight. Once you click it, once you sign into task stream, it gives you the option to go to your DRF or your folios and web pages. I'm going to start tonight with folios and web pages. You know that you have created a competency folio for spring 18. Please remember, please remember that you got to have one artifact proof for each of the 21 competencies. That's communication down through visionary. Digital learning competencies, there's nothing for you to do there. Those have been embedded in the other 21. That's just so you'll know what they are. We would like for you to upload your signed internship log here and request comments so that your clinical coach can go in and make sure you did your 80 hours this semester. Make sure it's signed by your site mentor, site supervisor at your school. And that's
Dr.
where it
Lamb,
goes. Yes.
Dr. Lamb, their clinical coach will either be you or it will be Dr. Hamilton. Am I right?
That's correct.
Okay, so either yours will go to Dr. Lamb or it will go to Dr. Hamilton.
Please don't do a publish or share. Please request comments. That's the only way we can open up the folio and look at it. It's the same way for all of these.
Okay. Lindsay asked, does it go to Dr. Ramsey?
No.
No. Only Dr. Lamb or Dr. Hamilton, whoever your CC2 is.
CC2.
Dr. Ramsey is your CC1 person.
Mm-hmm. He sometimes helps out, but we want to see this at the end of the semester here. All right. Please remember what an artifact or proof is. It is not a write-up. It is not a narrative. You did that in competency analysis in task 5 of the APSEL and task 4 of the APTEL. You wrote your competencies. This is items that have been created as a result of the work that you did as an intern this semester. It's things, it's screenshots, it's pictures. We've gone over that. Use the appropriate button to load the type media that you have. Make sure that you have one for all 21. Now, again, don't do 3 communication and say, well, I put 21 in, I put 7 of them, I put 3 in. No, 1 each for the 21 communication, 3 visionary. Again, there's nothing for you to do in digital learning competencies. That's just for your edification, and you upload your log once it's signed. Anybody have any questions on what the expectation is for your competency folio this semester?
Lindsay had a question. Dr. Lamb, look at your, I couldn't catch what it was.
I didn't have a question, but it was
Okay.
Dr. Ramsey who had come out to my site and we had had a meeting with the principal. So I wasn't sure do I just say goodbye or?
No, he'll be there to come out and be on site if you need him.
Okay. Okay.
But we'll check your work.
Okay. Sounds good.
I don't want to have to pay him to check your work and talk to him too. We don't have enough money to pay everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. So when you go in, of course, it'll let you select who. It'll be me or Dr. Hamilton. Let's see what this other chat here is. So no narrative, just artifacts. That's correct. No narrative, just things that have been generated. Like the email permission to form a PLC, that's a good communication one. Just a screenshot of that email. Don't have to explain it. If we're not smart enough to figure it out, that's our problem. But this is where you put the things, the items, the artifacts.
And Dr. Lamb, remember we told y'all that you'll do it 3 different times. This semester, you'll do it in the summer, and then you'll do it again in the fall. And each time, it should progressively become more advanced, like with communication. That's basic communication. Time you do it, it should be more than just an email.
Yeah. We'd like to see a progression of these kinds of things because you're going to have to show a progression when you become a principal. This is a way in North Carolina in regular public schools that you're going to be evaluated, and it's much the way you're evaluated in South Carolina. You have to produce evidence artifacts, written narratives of what you did, and then you have to show examples of work that was produced by doing it. It's evidence artifacts. Evidence is written narrative. Artifact is the thing that's produced. So again, that's the way it works. Any other questions about the competency folio? All right, over to the DRF portfolio. Yours will say spring 18 add-on license, and so let's see where we are here. For MELS 601, you owed us the APTEL this semester, the APSEL, your competency analysis. Again, that's a copy and paste from APSEL Task 5 and APTEL Task 4. That will catch all 21 of your competencies. Remember, there are 2 extra items there that are just kind of a summary. Again, don't send me an email. There's 23 competencies. That's it. That's an IQ test. Again, I wouldn't dare call you a pinhead. I might infer that you could wear a thimble for a hat, though. So don't be sending me emails that there are 23. There are only 21 competencies, and then there are 2 summary questions. So, and then your School of Ed dispositions, you can fill those out and rate yourself, and we'll get back to you on those. Make sure that on each of these, in the end, you save and return and submit work. Submit work. Make sure that these are submitted, so that we can access them and grade them on our end, just like you did with your AppSell and AppTel. Now, don't be confused. I don't know if I can get it changed before the summer, but next semester, you've got to do the OMA and the skip and task 1. See, somehow this got scrambled a little bit. Obviously, you're not going to do the CAP, skip, SOP all in one semester, half the work. Next semester, as I've told you, you got to do all of the OMA and all of the skip. That's actually in the catalog. So you got to do all of the OMA and all the skip and task 1 of the CAP. That's 9 tasks, and that'll leave you 9 for your last semester in the fall. So it's 9, 9, and 9 tasks. The AppSell and the AppTel were 9 tasks. The OMA, the skip, and task 1 of the CAP are 9 tasks, and that'll leave you the other 3 tasks of the CAP and the 6 tasks of the SOP for the fall. I've given you all the materials. You can continue to work. Please remember that Blackboard will be down from about the 12th to the 17th of this month. But other than that, everything will be up, and you can work and do your peer reviews, whatever you need to do right on, other than the 5 days or 6 days that Blackboard will be down for maintenance. I know that's not really a good time, but that's not our call. So,
but they've got everything that they need to begin after they get through with me. They've got everything they need to begin with your work for the summer, because I sent them all that.
Yep.
So
you should be good to go. All right. Dr. Stedman, what's our schedule from here on out this semester?
Well, I was going to ask you, I don't see a need. I don't see a need unless you see a need. I don't see a need to come back online next week.
Next Monday is the final day of the semester anyway. Tuesday is, unless we just make an effort to come on Monday, it's over with. So this would be the last night tonight. That would be my guess.
I would say unless you think of something, or unless I see that there's a problem, they just need to get the work into me, and it's coming in. So that, because I have to submit grades. So, it's important. And let me say this. Now, Dr. Lamb, I know what I'm talking about. Some of you are too young to remember, but Dr. Lamb, I don't know if you ever worked in the tobacco fields or not. But as a boy, I worked in tobacco fields. I cropped tobacco. And I can remember you have to work till you get to the end of the road. So Pam said she did too. You work till you get to the end of the road. You can't just slack. I've picked up, I know you're tired. I know you got a lot going on, but don't let down the quality of what you're submitting. I can tell very well on Sunday night, the person that has waited until the last minute to send me something, they say, well, I just got to put something together so I can have something at least turned in. Don't insult my intelligence. I know what you're doing. I expect better than that from you. So I'm asking you to don't let down on the quality of the work that you're submitting. Remember that this work represents you, so make sure that it represents you well.
Those of you who asked for the dates again, you can see them on the screen. Blackboard offline schedule, May 12 through 17. That's Saturday of graduation at 9 o'clock that morning. and it'll be off, and they want to have it back up by Thursday, May 17th. Don't.
It shouldn't affect any of you.
No, but don't get yourself in a bind thinking that it's going to come back on the 17th either. Shouldn't affect you because we don't start class back until the 21st. But if I'm betting, when they turn it back on the 17th, it'll crash 2 or 3 times because of the updates. So I wouldn't plan on it actually working until sometime either Friday or Saturday on a consistent basis. I don't mean to be ugly, but that's usually what happens. The best predictor of the future is the past. And so in the past, once they take this thing down for several days, it's like all systems. Systems in motion tend to stay in motion, but once you take them down, they tend to break down. That's why cotton mills forever ran 3 shifts, because whenever they shut the mill down, when they started it back up, everything broke. Well, that's kind of what happens with Blackboard, unfortunately. And it being down for 5 days, I can't guarantee you that it'll work. They'll have it working by Saturday. They will have it working by Saturday, but don't bet on Thursday. So plan your schedule accordingly, because we'll be rolling on the 21st. Now, if you're in my 603 class, we roll on Wednesday night. So our first class will be May 23rd, if you're in my class. And I've encouraged all 603s to try to meet on Wednesday nights, but that don't mean they will. But I meet every Wednesday night at 7 for 10 weeks, no weeks off this summer. And we hit it going fast.
And Dr. Lamb, I know that you're their instructor. Now, I don't think I'm involved with them this summer. Is that correct?
I think you will be.
I will be. Okay. I was hoping to.
We complete internship hours between 5/7 and 5/21. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to fire Dr. Hamilton and give you his 2 groups.
Well, good, because I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose them. They might be tired of me, but I'm not tired of them.
Well, I know that. You can't always get what you want.
Yeah. At least they're used to me anyway.
Yeah, it's small favor.
Yeah.
I talked to Dr. Hamilton this week. We're gonna slide his interns over to Dr. Stedman. So you have me and Dr. Stedman for your internship people this summer. Let me look at something right quick. Getting all these questions. Make a strike. Okay. All right. Let's see where I am. Boodly doodly doo. No, that's not it. That's not the one I want. There we go. All right. So let's look at this. Can y'all see my spreadsheet on the screen? Should be.
Dr. Lamb, there are several things coming up.
All right, so what we got right now, Dr. Stedman 601 with Dr. Hamilton will be taught by me, and Dr. Stedman will just reverse roles. Dr. Stedman will be your coach this summer. Where it says Hamilton, that's going to be Stedman. All right. For those of you who have me this semester in 60108 and Dr. Hamilton, you'll have Dr. Whitaker and Dr. Stedman this summer. And so those of you who have me in 60110, you have Dr. Stedman now, you'll have Dr. Sumner and me this summer. I believe that's it.
And somebody said Phyllis Talent.
Yeah, Dr. Talent will be teaching 603, and I will be the coach for that one again. We're adding Dr. Talent to our group.
So they'll either have you or me no matter what.
Yeah, and those of you who have me for 603 this summer, you'll have Dr. Stedman for one, and I think Dr. Pickard for one, and we may switch that up. We may switch Dr. Pickard over to Dr. Whitaker and keep Dr. Stedman with me, but we'll figure that out later. You'll have either me or more likely me or Dr. Stedman in some capacity this summer. We can't let you off the hook. I may have to do a little rearranging now that Dr. Hamilton. They can't be as handsome as you guys. You didn't even have to say that. That was just understood. Dr. Hamilton loves you dearly, but I don't know if any of you knew Dr. Bingham has left us, and Dr. Hamilton's going to have to slide over and cover some of that until we find a replacement for Dr. Bingham, if and when we find a replacement for him. And so Dr. Hamilton's having to pick up some of that stuff this summer, and so I volunteered Dr. Stedman to pick up some of his so he could slide over there. It was either me or Dr. Stedman. I invoked that famous administrative axiom, me first. So Dr. Stedman drew the short straw on that one, got the extra load this summer. But, yeah, I don't have any idea when we'll replace Dr. Bingham. So we're all just going to have to take on more until we get us another person. Dr. Bingham was working a good bit with us and in DEOL, and so I've already had to find some people to pick up his part in MELS, and Dr. Hamilton is having to pick up his part in DEOL. So we're a little thin right now, but that's okay. We like to work.
Cynthia asked a question, when would they know who their instructors are? Well,
the instructors are already set. The instructors won't change. It's just the coaches. The instructors are already set. As you can see, according to who you had and what section you were in this semester, if you were in 02, you're going to have me for your instructor this summer. If you were in 04, you're going to have Dr. Talent, but I'll be your coach. If you were with Dr. Stedman in 601, 04, you'll have Dr. Talent. That was one. If you're in 06,
they had Dr. Sumner. None
of these had Dr. Sumner.
No.
If they had me, they'll have Dr. Whitaker, and if they had you in the 10 section, they'll have Dr. Sumner. So these instructors are already set. Contracts have already gone out. But what we're talking about is I may make a change and move Dr. Pickard over to Dr. Whitaker and move Dr. Stedman back with me. I'm going to go ahead and do that now. And then we'll move these around. We'll move them just like that. So I can still move the coaches. Those contracts hadn't been done yet. So that's probably what it's going to look like right there. So that it may go back the other way. If we do it that way, those of you who had me and Dr. Stedman this semester won't have us. But if I switch it back, at least you'll have somebody you know. But we'll look at it according to what we need. So the yellow doesn't change. Anything in yellow doesn't change. That's the instructors. So that's what the summer schedule looks like. Dr. Stedman's going to be teaching 605 this summer. We don't have any 601s in the summertime, so he rotates to 5. He rotates back to 1 in the spring and the fall, and the spring, and then back to 5 in the summer. I stay in 603 all the time. I'm the only law person we have. So until we hire somebody new. So I guess that's pretty much everything I've got tonight that kind of gives you an idea. But again, we might do.
And then when you get to 605 in the fall, probably we'll try to make sure that either he or I are working with you as coaches
Yeah.
at that time.
Yeah, we'll be with you. I mean, we'll be with you in some perspective, pretty much. If we did it that way, you'd be tough anyway. But I'll figure that out. According to, I'll have to figure out who wants to do what. But no, you'll have the summer. In the fall. We'll rotate you out. Probably Dr. Stedman will probably have all of you to coach in the fall, and then you'll probably have Dr. Wilson or Dr. Todd for 605, but Dr. Stedman will be there with you.
Yeah, because I'll lose all those this summer, so I'll have a new group.
Yeah, so that's what I was talking about. You'll lose all those this summer, and so probably what we'll do is all four that we're talking to tonight will come to you in the fall to coach in the fall when you have your 601s, and then so you'll have them in 605 in the fall. So you'll have probably all four of those in the fall, same group you got now. And so, and then in the spring, you'll have 601s again, and the ones that you had in the fall, you'll have them to coach in the spring, then you'll rotate. That's kind of the way it works. Dr. Stedman goes from one to five because we don't always have that. I go from 3 to 5. And we don't have any threes, and sometimes we don't have any threes, and then I go to 5. No 603s, but we try to keep somebody with you every semester as a person that somebody. We may not be very good. You may wish you had somebody else, but at least you know us. So we try to keep some continuity all the time. It makes it difficult the way that it works with not adding groups in the summertime. We have to kind of skip and roll like you do with elementary kids. And so that's what we try to do is we try to roll somebody with you that you know every semester so you don't have to get to know somebody else's pattern. That's sometimes harder than the work.
Nathaniel, you asked the question. Dr. Lamb's going to go back and look at it. I think he's going to try to make it possible. I don't know yet, to make sure that you all of you have either him or me in some capacity this summer. But
that's the way I had it done before. I had Dr. Pickard here, and I had Dr. Stedman here. I had it that way, and I'll probably leave it that way so that way you have somebody you know. That was the whole idea. So that you have somebody that you know. That's the way I have it now. And Dr. Stedman's going to fill in for Dr. Hamilton because he's got to fill in for Dr. Bingham.
And then you'll be divided this summer between Dr. Lamb and me, but then in the fall, all of you will go back to me for your 605 class. And if you've got me, you've got Dr. Lamb anyway, because I always include him in things that we're doing. So, so in the fall,
I get to come online every night.
You do, yes, yes. Okay.
I'm online with somebody every night, mine or his or some of the other folks. I'm online every night and weekends. I get to teach Saturday and Sunday.
Yes, Delisha, yes, Monday is the last day of class.
It is. Monday's the last day. You thought you'd never get there. But it's just the last day of class. It doesn't mean you slow down or stop. Do you want to do some kind of a town hall with these folks before next semester just to get them all back together again, or you just want to wait till we have class, Dr. Stedman? Now that Blackboard's down, but we could always Zoom with them to kind of kick off the semester. I do that.
We can do that. Let's get through with this, and then we'll send a message out to them. And Nichelle said yes, we'll make it happen. But let's you and I talk about it, and we'll plan it. And
we may do that like on a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, that'll work well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that we can get everybody back on the same.
Yeah.
Same.
Now, I'm doing a Zoom on a Sunday afternoon on the 20th. I have to do a Zoom. I've got a student in Hawaii, and she's 6 hours behind. And so we go in after I get home from church, and before she goes, we Zoom on Sunday afternoons. And so, but we could still do it that day, but we'll find a day.
Yeah, we'll figure it out for them. Just get your work in and get this over with, and make sure that you do it well when you send it to me. I want you to finish the course well.
Okay, it's been fun. And back to Dr. Stedman to close it out.
That's it. I look forward to seeing your work this week, and I haven't sent out any emails that you noticed. To those of you that have, I'm giving you a chance to catch up. So catch up.
All right, now. Last thing, make sure you check your Garden Web email during the downtime. Always check your Garden Web email every day. I have way too many students who, once classes are over, they don't check their email till next semester. We'll be announcing a get-together of some sort prior to the beginning of the semester to get everything going and fix any problems. So check your email daily. And
if Dr. Lamb fixes it like I think he will, and I have all of you, you'll still get the email communication from me. I'll continue to send it out as he wants it. So I'll send it out to all of you so that you're getting it. Those that are with Dr. Lamb and me. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Lamb.
Night.
Guys.